Hey folks, this is Ben Gessel. I just thought I'd make a quick video on. It's not really a review of Animal House, but it's just a few thoughts I have of it that are maybe, I don't know, things that you guys probably have in the back of your minds, but um, perhaps could be well articulated here. This is just the very end of it. So, I've seen it a few times, not too many times really. It was a movie that was, I would say, definitely before my generation, but the one right before it, more or less. I guess you could say it's a Generation X video, and I was more Generation Y or kind of bordering a millennial, but I don't know, somewhere in there. Anyway, so the thing is that there are several things that about this, at least several, if not more, that are kind of like a good mix of a lot of, I wouldn't say just college, but actually a little bit of high school as well, kinds of mannerisms and things that are they're sticking around today. By the way, having some ribeye and broccoli with some orzo pasta, which I'm going to have here in a second. Right here. For lunch. But the thing is that um, kind of an early lunch, late breakfast. The thing is that there's the cafeteria scene. So they don't show anybody paying for anything. I know it's just kind of a and the food fight thing. You know, I never really had a food fight. Really, ever. It might have happened on a small scale in elementary school, but I think the food fight thing is definitely, unfortunately, in a way, unfortunately, more of a movie thing. But you don't want to be chucking apples at people. That would not be good. Cool. But the pie thing, I mean, that's essentially, yeah. Anyway, but it's really funny though. I mean, like, of course, Bluto Blutarski and this is John Belushi and his awesome antics and things, and making fun of the prudes and the preppies and the girly girls and stuff. Anyway, um, it's just over the top. I mean, it's mostly, and again, it's college. It's just that some things about the movie you could tie in more with high school, I suppose, but or something along those lines. And there is kind of that, you know, always the haves versus the have-nots, or the socially approved of element versus the not socially approved of element. In this case, it's just a fraternity house that's kind of wild and crazy a little bit, versus another fraternity house that's not really much different in a way. It's just they want to appear as being a lot more respectable. And there's certainly some things about the movie that, I don't approve of in a religious or spiritual aspect, but they're pretty few in number, really. And I didn't really want to go into that too much, but it's anyway. So, but was it John Landis, or is it, I get John Landis and John Hughes mixed up sometimes, but one of those guys. But they made it. But it's just has a lot of heart to it. Nobody wants to be. I mean, like I've never been expelled, so of course I've never been expelled. But if anyone has been expelled, or I mean, like there's a lot of things in college, depending on the college, that can really take your sights away from your studies, which is the reason you're paying money for college. But there's a lot of things about the college that it's because your whole life is there, and so it's just a different kind of thing that way. And it's easier sometimes to make sense of all that when you've had some working experience, or when you've grown up a bit more in a way. But it's just, this is Airplane 2, by the way. Sorry guys, this is just background music. But it's just and I can do another video about Airplane 2, but Animal House touches more bases with me because, just in college a lot more. and Central Washington and BYU. And so there are elements of kind of both, especially Central Washington in some respects with Animal House. But Animal House really is it kind of is more of a Washington State or University of Washington, or well, it's the setting though is of course back east or Midwest-ish. It would be like a bigger college back east, like Pennsylvania State or something. I don't know, but we have a lot of frat houses, and it's a big college, that sort of thing. But I never really, you know, I don't know. My main train of thought here is, and there's of course the horse scene. That I mean, like they might have horse stables in some colleges where you do horse equestrian stuff. And yes, I know Niedermeyer being a total jerk and all that stuff. There's a lot of things about the movie that wouldn't really happen in real life too much, but there are some things that aren't really very far away from the truth. But then there's like the dated. I mean, I know they do tests and things differently now, and there's that whole train of thought with cheating and tests and stuff. But I still think it's a great movie, but it's just not especially realistic. But the reason why it works is it doesn't have to be that realistic. I mean, it's realistic enough that it can be believable. And of course, I know everybody knows about the guitar smashing scene. I know. So, and yes, Stephen Bishop and is playing guitar and all that good stuff. And I can think John Belushi was kind of, in a way, the star, even though you had what's his name, Matheson. He was Fletch. Anyway, I can't remember his first name. He's a pretty cool guy, but he does a good job playing a preppy dude, or preppy dude with the cool guy, or the friendly, right, frat. And then there's some other guys, but it really is. John Belushi is kind of the star there. But it's true though. I mean, they had for the head guy for the snotty, I wouldn't say whites only, but the upper class brown nosing frat. They did pick the right guy. So, very polished looking blonde guy, taller. Yes. Exactly the sort of person that many people want to just go smack upside the head. But it's more the way he acts, of course. Niedermeyer being the one that I think is the real one we hate. Not necessarily always the blonde guys. More Niedermeyer, I think. Doug Niedermeyer. His yeah. So anyway, leave me thoughts and comments below on Animal House. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.